Hi guys, I'm making this video on how to store your snowblower for the winter for my two son-in-laws so they can stop asking me. Now, if this helps you, that's great. So I'll refer to some stuff that I think you should do. The first thing is you can put some of this in, and this is fuel stabilizer. And it says a ½ ounce per gallon. Now you can buy it from a few places, but this is the Honda brand that I happen to have lying around. Like I said, it's a ½ ounce for every gallon, which in that small tank is probably about 2 capfuls. So this is optional, and if you store your snowblower inside and it's not out in the rain or at the side of your house, I don't see why you need this, but for the video I'll put it in. So you got to be careful not putting too much of this in. Like, don't pour it like you're making your friend drinks late at night. This stuff will actually turn to a gum and cause you all kinds of carburetor problems if you put too much in, so stick to the directions on the back. Had that same bottle for about 7 years, so you don't use very much. The next thing we're going to do is start the snowblower normally, and we're going to turn the gas off and let the gas run out of the carburetor until the snowblower stalls right out, and we're not going to start it again for the rest of the year. And what that means is we're going to change the oil afterwards so it's ready to go. The other thing is there's no gas in the float bowl, so we won't get any varnish, and if you leave gas in the float bowl, it can gum up and the needle can get stuck all the way up in the carburetor, and you won't get any, you won't be able to start it in the wintertime when you want it. So again, I'm going to start it up, turn the gas off, and run the gas out of the machine. I always run it out when I put it away, so there was hardly any in there. Okay, there's a threaded pipe connection here on mine. That's where the oil comes out. On some other motors, it comes out over here. So what I want to do is have the machine tipped like this so the oil drains out. I'm going to do that by putting something underneath the front of the snowblower so that we have a better angle on the engine. This should work just fine. Perfect. Now we need a drain pan. One right there. Now I bought this new type of graduated funnel at Princess Auto, and it comes with a big plastic hose. I'm going to try to shove that over the pipe after I take the end off to drain the fluid into the pan. Now we have a crescent wrench to take the big nut off the end, and we have the hose that I'm going to try to slide over if it fits, and I have a vice grip to keep me from turning that pipe out. I'll show you. Okay, now we're going to turn the nut off. take you in there. There you can see the oil. Let me see if you can. There you can see the oil draining out of that pipe. Draining here. Maybe it's slowly. There you can see it draining into the oil drain pan. It's quite slow. It's gravity fed. And the best thing you can do is take your oil dipstick off to allow air in. And this is the nut that I took off the end of the pipe. So when we put this back on, we have to use Teflon tape. That's about it. We just need Teflon tape and oil now. What I'm going to do now is unhook the hose, move the drain pan away. I'm going to put the Teflon tape on and wind the nut on. Now is lower the front end of the snowblower down. We'll take my jack stand out that I had in there. Okay. Now I'm going to take the hose off. Okay. Put it to the side. Okay, hose is off. I'm going to take the oil pan out. Shaky video. Okay. Okay, so what I've done now is I've put the dipstick back in the engine. I've moved the drain pan. I've taken the hose off the end of the pipe. Now we want to put the Teflon tape on counterclockwise and tighten the nut back on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start it at the bottom, make it nice and flat, because it's not going to matter down here. It's only at the end, and we're going to tie it really good all the way up to the end, like this, and then back down to the bottom. Run it in with our fingers, put our nut on. We're going to take our wrench and tighten it up. Okay, that should be a good seal. Now we're going to take the vice grips off. Beauty. Okay. Now it's just a matter of filling the machine with oil, and mine doesn't take very much. It takes about 300-400 mil. Some take up to a liter. Like I think Bobby's big Toro Max takes like a liter, but mine doesn't take very much, and I always use 1030 synthetic, and I've never had a problem. Got a little gas we can drain out of the overflow vent tube. Up. Perfect. Make sure you clean out the inside of your funnel with a rag, or there's no real point in changing the oil. Take your rag, and if you can't get the end clean, sometimes I put a screwdriver down with the rag around it, clean it out. Here's the oil I'm using, 1030, a synthetic. I got this on sale at Walmart, but you can use just about whatever you want. Some people use 530. I think that's a bit thin, but I use synthetic because it's cold in the winter and I want it to work right away. On the side of the container is graduated in milliliters. I'm going to start with 300. Try this. As you can see, mine's full. I guess maybe you can't see it. That's 700 mil for mine, just underneath the dot. You don't want to overfill it because the crank will whip around and make it into aerated. So basically make it into a slurry and it won't lubricate. So not over the dot, but up to. That's it. I hope it helps. Good luck, Bobby and Graham.